Just want an explanation of something. I feel like quite a few times when I tune in, you are apologizing to Shex for something or the other. And I'm not really sure why that keeps happening. And then I hear you being called fool, you're sick, you're stupid. A lot of those very weird words. Is that a love language for you? I'm not sure why you keep taking that. What's happening?
It's actually not a love language, but like, I really like him, so yeah. I apologize to him because he feels like, sometimes he feels like I disrespect him.
I can't control it. I'm not ready to end it because I want it so badly.
Me too.
I don't think I'll ever get to love him again. To me,
he's just perfect.
Because he's like, his bad side is like, his good side exceeds his bad side, so yeah. His bad side is just something like,
you can manage, it's normal. It's not my social bad side.
Exactly.
Again, it's another much awaited conversation with you amazing folks, guys. I'm super excited because personally, I have been looking forward to having this particular conversation with all of you amazing people. And I'm talking about none other than the toxic ships of the Big Brother Naija Season 7 Level Up Edition. Ladies and gentlemen, there's quite a lot of them. And you know, it's quite interesting because Shex and Bella actually gave us a full, shameful, disgraceful display, a show of toxicity and abuse in that thing they called a ship, a relationship, a love relationship, guys. It was so massive, it was so glaring that kind of shifted our focus from the many other toxicity that existed in other ships in the house. So ladies and gentlemen, on this video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be fishing them out, we're going to be smoking them out, we're going to talk about it, we're going to analyze it, we're going to dissect the many toxic ships in Biggie's house, the many toxic ships that existed in the Level Up mansion. Yes, so as usual, I'll urge you all to please go ahead and share with me your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and if you're new on here, thank you so much for choosing to click on this video. Yes, if this is your first time coming across my channel, please do not forget or hesitate to do exactly what you see on your screen, especially if you're looking for that space where you can get the most detailed, factual and accurate analysis of reality TV shows, movies and trending social topics. This is where you're going to get all of that juicy scoop. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for choosing to come back. All right, and without much further ado, let's quickly get into the video. So first off, this video will not be complete without me wishing you amazing folks a happy new month. Yes, today is the 1st of November and I am just so excited that we are all seeing the 11th month of 2022, and I'm going to pray a prayer for all of you today. All right, this is a prayer I normally pray for myself, so I'm praying for all of you that watch this video, in fact all of you subscribers on my channel, that the blessings, the remaining blessings for 2022 begin to locate all of you wherever you are. If there's one last project, if there's one last thing that you are wishing for to happen in this year, before the year 2023, I'm praying for you today, that today marking the 1st, yeah, that God blesses you with your heart's desires. In Jesus' name, amen. In fact, in the name of whatever you believe in, I am praying that it comes to pass for you today in Jesus' name, amen. And yeah, moving on to the conversation of this video, guys. I mean, yeah, it's all about the toxic ships of Big Brother Naija Season 7, the Level Up Edition. And as we've already established, Shex and Bella were the most toxic and the most abusive ship ever in the history of Big Brother Naija. The most toxic. We don't know if we're going to have any other that's going to surpass what happens between those two people. We don't know yet, but for now they hold the track record of the most toxic and most abusive ship in the history of Big Brother Naija. And so for that reason, for the fact that also we've actually, you know, over-talked about those two people's toxicity, they're going to be the last couple that we talk about on this video. So we're going to start with others that we did not really focus on for the entire season because Shegs and Bella's ones just took the spotlight for the season. And so with Shegs and Bella comfortably holding the position for the first most toxic ship of the Level Up season, coming in second place is Groovy and Beauty. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's debunk some some misconceptions. Now, one major misconception about Groovy and Beauty ship was that Beauty was the problem. That Beauty was the only violent person, that Beauty was the only aggressive person. Now, the truth of the matter is, stemming from what we saw, you know, Groovy do with, what's her name now, Phyna, ladies and gentlemen, we saw clearly that Beauty was not the problem. We saw clearly that Groovy, as a matter of fact, was emotionally, how do I put it? Should I say emotionally violent? Yeah, let's call him a chief gaslighter. Yeah, we saw all what Groovy did. We saw the way he played around the, you know, the whole chumsy conversation, the way he made it look like Beauty was the one that had a mental problem. Yes, although this is not to say that Beauty was not overreacting. Beauty was actually overreacting. That is where she herself was equally toxic. Yes, she was equally toxic because she lacked self-control. She did not really know or even understand how to manage and control her emotions, and so that made her very toxic. Of course, the fact that she could not really control her emotions, guys, led her into being overly aggressive and violent, you know, not just to Groovy now, but to Elebe as well. And I think she also resulted in harming herself, yes, by causing her own disqualification. So ladies and gentlemen, yes, established, Beauty was very, very toxic in that relationship, yes, but that does not make Groovy a saint. Groovy was a chief gaslighter. He knew quite all right that flirting around with other females in his level and also in level 1 was going to trigger Beauty. He knew her trigger, and so he played with her trigger button, you know, from time to time, triggering her, getting her really upset, provoking her, consciously doing all what he was doing. Yes, because for him, it was all a game. Yes, telling this girl in private, oh, I want you to be my girlfriend, I like you, I even love you. And then in public, giving the impression to the viewers and his fellow housemates that he was a free agent, that he never said such to her. Guys, if that is not toxicity, I don't know what it is called. So even though Groovy was not physically aggressive or even violent, in my frank opinion, I feel like it was very, very emotionally and mentally draining to Beauty. Yes, and we saw the same thing play out in a ship with Phyna, which brings me to the third most toxic ship of the season. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people will feel like, oh, because Phyna was always cooking for Groovy, feeding him, you know, pampering him, giving him pedicure or manicure in the house, a lot of people would think that, oh, those two people actually had it all rosy. It was not rosy. It was not rosy. In my frank opinion, it was toxic because Groovy was giving Phyna different levels of signals. He was giving her all sorts of mixed signals, guys. No certainty as to what exactly he felt for her. Yes, he of course, he was open to the PDAs. He was open to the touching, and whatever business they were doing beneath the duvet. Yes, he was open to doing all of that. But when it came to owning up to, you know, defining their relationship, defining his true feelings for her, he would make it seem as though she was the one dating herself. He would make it seem as though the idea or even the concept of both of them being an item in the house was something that she fabricated in her mind. So the same way he played Beauty, making Beauty seem like a crazy person, that was the same way he played Phyna, making Phyna seem like a crazy person. And this is not to say, once again, that Phyna herself was not toxic. I mean, Phyna knew quite all right that Groovy was not really into her. In fact, the way she even got to be with the guy, guys, it was equally toxic. The way she really wanted to be in that ship with Groovy, ladies and gentlemen, it was equally toxic. Yes. And so that ship, in my frank opinion, seemed like one that was built on betrayal. It was one that was built on deceit. That ship, the foundation, from the foundation to everything that holds the ship, the pillars of the ship, everything, it was all built on toxicity. And moving on to the fourth very, very toxic ship of a Level Up season. We're talking about the one that existed between Chumzy and Elo Swags. Ladies and gentlemen, in my frank opinion, that toxicity stemmed more from Chumzy. Yeah, and that's because whilst the show was still on, Chumzy was a very, very competitive individual. She wanted it all. Yes, the winnings from the arena. She wanted to win the show so badly. She was willing and ready to do whatever it takes, you know, to be the last housemate standing. And so for her, it did not really matter if she played with people's heart. And the one person's heart that she really toyed with on the show was Elo Swag's heart. Yes, a lot of the guys in that level wanted her, but according to her, she's for everybody and she's for nobody. So that was Elo Swags, who was doing everything in his little power, you know, to be the only guy in Chumzy's life, and she was busy taking him for a ride. So 1 minute she's being vulnerable with him, she's opening up to him, she's allowing him access to her heart and her body, because guys, these people actually got freaky in the bathtub in the head of house bedroom. They also got freaky a couple of times, you know, beneath the duvet in the regular bedroom that they shared with the other housemate. Yes, so even though she was allowing him access to her body like that, oh, and also in the party arena, on the dance floor, yes, she was also kind of like a closed book. Yeah, I mean, from time to time when Elo Swags would want to have that conversation with her, you know, to find out where he stood with her, to find out the status of their ship, she will still go ahead to tell the guy that they are just friends. Ladies and gentlemen, behold another toxic ship, you know, that was built on benefits, right? Elo Swags being there for her, taking care of her, especially when she was drunk, you know, kind of pampering her, giving her all of that attention that she needed. And guys, let's not forget that Chumzy was kind of using Elo Swags like, you know, like a shawl in the house to ward off the cold. Like, how do they put it now, guys? For lack of a better word, I can't really remember what I want to say at this point, but, you know, she was just using him to hold body, you know, simply because the actual guy that she originally wanted, Groovy, was not in her level. And then when she heard that, oh, Beauty was disqualified because she got into a fight with Groovy, blah, 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 and then Groovy is now with Phyna, her pride did not really allow her to go ahead and pursue what she wanted. But whatever she had with Elo Swags, ladies and gentlemen, it was just extremely toxic. We had another very toxic ship. Yes, this time around, it's the Daniela, Khalid, and Dotun's ship that happened during the season. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this time around, it wasn't like a mutual toxicity. No, this time around, it was all about Daniela. Yeah, all in the guise of the Gen Z. I am 22, I make mistakes, I did this and that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's call a spade a spade. The show is over, right? So let's just call a spade a spade. During the show, I once or twice or many times even asked the question that why is it that for every morning after Daniela finishes whatever she does beneath the duvet with Khalid, she cries. And a lot of people, you know, a lot of you gave your reasons. Some of you felt like she was probably trying to buy public sympathy. Yeah, some of you, you know, gave reasons like, oh, she's probably loathing herself at that point in time. She's probably hating on herself for having done whatever she did with Khalid, which was actually a lot, guys. I mean, according to those people, they said that they were doing aggressive, is it aggressive kissing? Anyways, we're babies, right? If we're gonna call a spade, ladies and gentlemen, let's say it as it is, okay? See, for me, I felt like all those morning after tears, all of those things, right? It literally set Khalid up for eviction. No caps. Yes, Daniela succeeded in buying public sympathy. She succeeded in buying the pity of the viewers. She succeeded in investing in the emotional banks of the viewers with her tears. And so people saw Khalid as the evil one. People saw Khalid as the one that was actually forcing Daniela to do whatever she did not want to do. People saw Khalid as the guy that was actually pushing Daniela to do stuff against her will, especially with that alcohol incident. Remember that conversation that Khalid was having with Daniela that, oh, if you're going to be drinking like that, you know, and end up being like Beauty, then I'm going to end this relationship. a lot of us, we actually clamped down heavily on Khalid because we felt like, oh dude, what is it? Oh, so you kick against Daniela drinking alcohol, but then at night people will be knocking and shagging every time, right? So we actually came down hard on Khalid, and that kind of really worked in Daniela's favor. Guess what? After Khalid got evicted, was it not the same Daniela that was freely, happily, joyously, you know, romancing alcohol during the Saturday night parties? And then when she gets tipsy, she will come and start begging Dotun for a kiss, you know, come and start just basically being all over Dotun, asking Dotun for kiss, for cuddles, for whatever. Guys, we don't even know if those people even did XYZ in the house. Yeah, because at some point also, the camera stopped sharing us things about those two people. Even also with Shex and Bella. Shex and Bella, they actually did a lot. Yes, there were nights when Bella will be moaning. I will be hearing sounds. Ladies and gentlemen, I have proof. We'll be hearing sounds, but the camera would not want to show us what was happening between those two people. So a lot of things actually happened in the house, but we're still talking about Daniela's toxicity in the ships that she had. That was her own way of being toxic to Khalid. Those tears that she shed. Yes. Now, when it came to Dotun, she was very, very manipulative with that guy. 1 minute you're telling the guy, I want you, kiss me, I want you, blah, 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 don't leave me. Oh, give me space. And then the guy gives you space, and then you are the one being all over the guy all over again. For me, that was just another level of toxicity. Emotional abuse, physical abuse, yes, because she was the one that was kind of infringing on Dotun's personal space. If you tell someone to give you space, and the person is trying to give you space, you should as well respect your own decision, your own order, and give the person space as well. But Daniela wasn't really doing much to help Dotun's situation. And so just like Khalid, there was another ugly narrative that was being circulated about Dotun on social media. People started calling Dotun names, an enabler. Oh, they almost called him the Aru name. Yeah, they labeled him, they gave him a tag that, oh, he knows that Daniela has a soft head for alcohol, and so he's constantly pushing Daniela to drink so that he will take advantage of Daniela when she's tipsy or when she's drunk. And we knew that that was all lies. I did videos to counter that. But sadly, the Dotun self has coconut head. That one was still carrying his head to go and look for sheep. So in my frank opinion, in that Daniela's triangle, you know, and then constantly doing the emotional blackmail. Every time you are doing things with Dotun, you are kissing Dotun, and then you still be calling Khalid's name and saying that, oh, it is Khalid I want. I choose you. I choose Khalid. Guys, in my frank opinion, that was all shades of toxicity. And then moving on to the Alison, Adekunle, and Hermes' dynamics. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, Alison, once again, just like Daniela, was the toxic one. Yes. I mean, by yourself, you made advances at the guy. The guy agreed to be your thing or to do whatever you wanted to do with him, and then after doing a lot of, you know, rolling around the sheets at night beneath the duvet for 1 week, you got tired. You said you are not feeling the guy anymore. You said you are not feeling the thing anymore, and then you moved on to, what's his name now, Hermes, who had actually made the first advances at you. And now Hermes had told you that he has 2 wives outside the house, and you said it's fine, and then you put your head in it. And then you started liking the guy, or whether it was a game or whatever. And then later you said you wanted the guy without his 2 girlfriends. Like a guy that has been in a polyamorous relationship for the longest time and is planning on marrying his 2 women later on this year. You're saying that you want the guy without the 2 women. So the guy should actually leave those 2 women for you. And now that is Alison. You know, that was her own style of being subliminally toxic. Now, talking about Hermes himself was not even innocent, to be very honest. Because in that relationship, Hermes was the same person that said that he did not mind if his women were actually free with other men. According to him, my capacity to love is my ability to like you in your fullness and to give you the kind of life that you want, and for you to exist in your own individuality, in your own capacity, in, you know, those all those nonsense philosophies that Hermes is always preaching in the house. But guess what? When Alison started flirting again with Adekunle and started putting eyes on Deji, you know, with, you know, just having interest with other people and even spending more time with her girlfriends, Hermes started getting jealous. Ladies and gentlemen, in my frank opinion, no, that was another level of toxicity. It wasn't really major, yes, but it seemed like the bedrock of their relationship. They tried as much as possible not to make their arguments really full-blown, or let's say it was the fault of Kayode. Kayode was not really showing us all those major arguments between those two people. Another toxic ship that we had in the house was one that existed between Gidifaya and Amaka. Ladies and gentlemen, that was all shades of gaslighting, and in my frank opinion, that is also another major level of toxicity. Yes, I mean, Gidifaya knew quite all right that he was not really into Amaka, but then because Amaka was cooking and feeding him at a time when there was food crisis in Biggie's house. I'm talking about week 5 when the merger happened newly. Yes, Gidifaya was just basically being a baby to Amaka. Amaka feeding him, and then later on he was trying to say that, oh, let's just be friends. Guys, trust me, that's another level of major toxicity. Gidifaya gaslighting Amaka like that, gaslighting Diana, gaslighting Rachel. That guy himself was toxic without even knowing that he was very toxic in all the ships he found himself, or he created by himself, in the house. Finally, let's do a bit of backtracking, going back all the way to the #1 spot of the most toxic ship of the Big Brother Naija Season 7 Level Up Edition. We're talking about the Shella ship. Ladies and gentlemen, without us even racking our brains about this one, we already know off the top of our heads that what made that ship extremely toxic and abusive was because it reeked and there existed a truckload of emotional abuse, mental abuse, verbal abuse, and almost physical abuse. Almost. I mean, guys, we've said it a lot of times that if there were no cameras in that house, if we were not watching the show on live TV, there probably could have been some level of physical abuse, because Joey attested to it, you know, as a fact to, what's her name now, Allison, on one of those occasions when we were having conversations that, oh, Shegs was so upset, he literally threw, you know, with aggression, his slippers against the door, against the wall. Why? Yeah, having conversations with Bella as usual. Their arguments, guys, that ship was so toxic. It was so toxic that these people were swimming in their own toxicity. And even though it was draining for Bella especially, Babe was enjoying it, because sadly, all the ships for this particular season was built on the foundation of competition. Yes, these housemates knew that season by season of Big Brother Naija as a reality TV show, ship was one of the biggest and strongest strategies that any housemate could use, you know, to enhance their game on the show. They were aware, they knew. And so just like a script that they all came to play, they came into the house with that one motive, to be caught up in a ship, you know, to build their fan base via shipping. So Shegs and Bella, even though their relationship was heavily toxic, was unhealthy, was abusive, yes, filled with gaslighting, guys, it was a do or die affair for both of them. I mean, Bella opened her mouth and said it to Chi that she can never leave Shegs.
See, I can't control it. I'm ready to end it because I want it so badly.
Me too.
I don't think I will ever get to of him again.
That even though she does not win the 100 million, for her, she has won already, because she has found Shegs. That she needs that relationship. She cannot let go of that relationship. Guys, it was a do or die affair for both of them. Shegs was playing a strategy, a game with Bella, and he knew that Bella, in one way or the other, was his one-way ticket into that fame and popularity that he was desperately in need of. Yes, because of course we knew that his football career was dead. Yes, all that money, all that talk about I have money, I have this and that. Ladies and gentlemen, if really he had it, he had no business coming to the show in the first place. So, in other words, all the ships for the Level Up season, guys, was built on the foundation of competition, of strategy, and that was why there was no genuineness found in any of those ships. Yeah. In as much as there were some that tried to be genuine, they still had to have it at the back of their mind that, hey, we're playing a game. And so we don't know if our partners is actually playing a game or not as well. And those ones that was bereft of real emotions, they made it kind of forceful. Yeah, they made it kind of forceful. They wanted it to be real by all means. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop talking right here because this video has actually gone over the length where I wanted it to be initially. So please, I would love to know your thoughts about the toxic ships of this season. That's the level of season of Big Brother Naija. Please go ahead and share your thoughts with us in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys on another video soon. Have an amazing day. Bye.